Egypt's government and military are on a collision course tonight. The president not backing down over the army's ultimatum to fix the country's problems, or they will.
At least 16 people have been killed and hundreds injured during continuing mass street protests. SBS correspondent Brett Mason is in Cairo as the clock ticks down.
Well, Kathy, a strange and perhaps uneasy case of deja vu here in Tahrir Square. The campaign to oust Mohamed Morsi's predecessor, Hosni Mubarak, took 18 days, but this uprising is moving much more quickly. The protesters have again gathered in the square below me. They are cheering and chanting and clapping as loudly as they can. And with the military shifting their support to the people so quickly, there is a very real sense here in Cairo that these could be the final hours of Mohamed Morsi's presidency.
Egypt is once again on the brink. Hundreds of thousands on the streets, the nation's powerful army threatening intervention, and the president defiant in a rambling 45-minute television address insisting he has the legitimate right to rule.
الرعية الدستورية الدستور لا يملك أحد الحق على الإطلاق كائنا من كان أن يستخدم أي نوع من أنواع الكلام أو القوة لا قدر الله.
Watched in cafes and homes throughout the country, the sentiments changing no one's mind. Soon after, Egypt's military declared on its Facebook page that it would shed blood to defend the people against what it called any terrorist, extremist or fool. At least 22 people died in the violence in the last 24 hours. Overnight clashes at Cairo University leaving several dead and almost 200 injured. Incidents like these propelling the country towards what could be a final violent showdown. The armed forces have given the president until tomorrow morning to end the unrest. He's being urged to strike a power-sharing deal with his opponents or risk having one imposed. Across Cairo, anti-Morsi sentiment grows, a complete contrast to the scenes that accompanied the president's election just 12 months ago.
It's hard to believe that millions of Egyptians gathered here in this very spot a year ago to celebrate Morsi's elevation to president. At one point, his approval rating here in Egypt was 80%, but just a year on, it's hit rock bottom, and these Egyptians want him out.
He don't respect the people, and he should go because he's killer. Go out, go out, go out.
At least 6 ministers from Morsi's Muslim Brotherhood party have already resigned, with more rumoured to follow. But not everyone has deserted him.
الرئيس دوت ليه أربع سنين يقضيهم لو ما عملش حاجة إحنا نفسنا هنقصيه.
Since being founded in 1928, the Muslim Brotherhood has been working towards the power it now holds in Egypt. And having won a democratic election, it isn't going to give it up anytime soon.
Tense scenes there, Brett. Personal safety, particularly for women, is again an issue in Tahrir Square.
Kathy, a huge issue. As many as 91 women have reportedly been sexually assaulted inside Tahrir Square. As many as 44 on one night alone, among those attacked by groups of men. A 22-year-old Dutch journalist who has had to undergo surgery. So horrific were her injuries. But foreign journalists and tourists have also reportedly been attacked and robbed in the square, and the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade has raised its travel warning for Australians coming here to Cairo.
And Brett, is the situation likely to become even more heated as this military deadline approaches?
Kathy, you can count on that. We are now 7 hours away from the deadline imposed by the military, and the protesters here say if Morsi doesn't go, nor will they. They will stay in the square. That would be a disastrous stalemate, and once again the power here in Egypt would shift to the military. It's quite bizarre to think that Egypt could perhaps overthrow its second leader in as many years. Kathy?
Thanks, Brett. That's Brett Mason in Cairo.